as I have to burp heavily. Ah, hello and welcome everyone back to the Dumbass class with me and my players as usual. Only this time they're all in chat. They can all be heard in varying
Kind of.
degrees. Yeah, you know. But yes, in the last episode, our group had gained some valuable information. The spider skull had had some repairs and some minor upgrades doing to it, as well as some information about its former owner. Upon accepting a quest from the Adeptus Mechanicus, they were given a vehicle. But not just any vehicle, a vehicle powered by servitors. Yes, very, very Mad Max. And they took off on a mission for the Adeptus Mechanicus to find a crude promethium deposit somewhere down south. They have been joined by a tech priest. His name is something of some sort.
It's actually the tech priest we met during the Spider Skulls upgrade.
Yeah, his name I believe is G707.
Yes,
because he was the first one. So on the list of engine seers, he's the first one, and I rolled a 1. So yes, he is G7 of Riser. As you set off on your journey, the servitors pick up quite a pace, and they move you at a decent, much faster than the herd beast could pull you. Pull you. And it's almost Heimrich, almost like being in a proper vehicle. Not quite, almost. As you look around, the scenery around you as you head south is very much the same as what it is up at Izmir, the inbred town that you've taken over. It's very hot, very humid. The air is dry. The landscape is quite barren. There is flora here and there, but it's patchy, and normally it follows the river. Where your route took you further away from the river, you were able to see it in the distance. Yeah, around you there was very little of anything. But as you get further and further down south, the air stops being so dry and starts becoming more damp, yet the heat remains. You are definitely heading into a more tropical part of this planet, as the temperature you would have thought would have dropped because you're going much further south, but it hasn't. It's only got more humid and damp. Yet the what was an acceptable temperature is now becoming far more oppressive, as you find you're all having to lower the windows to allow some airflow into the vehicle. Whereas before it was more dealable. But as you head further south, you do notice that there is more greenery, more shrubbery, more plants popping up in the distance. You do take a path which stays out of the undergrowth and as clear a path as you can go on. When you finally arrive at after traveling for a day, you stop to make camp. The area that you're in is very open. There is more grassland growing around you. It is still tufty. This area isn't lush with life, but as you look up towards the horizon, there is definitely thick tree lines. There's thick foliage, far more in the line of flora in the distance. See, we knew it would happen. But as you make camp, someone sets a fire, and you gather round. There's an eerie silence. There are the chirp of insects. There is a sound of crickets or some similar insect species. But the sounds of birds, the sounds of the natural wildlife on this planet that you've grown quite accustomed to in the more barren lands up north, they don't seem to be here. And as you warm up some rations or cook a piece of meat on the fire, and you look along the small tributaries that are near your encampment, you don't see any razor wings, no birds in the sky higher up. There's just this dense forest that lays out in the distance. A G7 does direct you that you are going further south into and then when you look south, it is more barren and open, but either side's again forested. The area gives you an uneasy feeling. Is there anything you guys would like to do before bedding down? Or do you want to...
Did we have Muttermouth and anything with us?
You do. You have Muttermouth and Thomas.
Can I just give them a quick question? Like, do they know of anything in the region, or have any of their fetids came to this edge of the map? Really?
They shake their heads. Both of them reply basically in a negative that fetids haven't come this far. Further west, much further west, you would get to the old capital of this world, the ruins that they are terrified of, that they will not go near.
Sky Tower? No, not Sky Tower.
It's the big red circle in the plains, the grasslands area.
Oh, okay.
Fetids,
Can I do an awareness check?
Sure, you can do an awareness, which basically means you want me to do an awareness for you, but sure, we can.
Yes, please.
we can do that.
Lazy shit.
There it is. And we want.
I'm probably doing an awareness test myself, but.
So Cooney, you get
shit.
a 23, which is 2.9 degrees of success. So 3. You don't really see anything, Cooney. Again, from what I've described, you see all of that. You see an area which should be rich in both flora and fauna. There's no fauna. You spend some time looking into the quite thick wall of trees, going from the ground up the trunk of the trees into the upper branches, and some of the trees seem to be of, they have a type of fruit or a nut, or that you can see things in the branches which normally animals would eat, or you'd imagine on a world with a forest and the trees are producing things, but no matter how long you look into the foliage, you don't see anything. You might, with 3 degrees, you can make out that there are insects, there are butterflies in certain areas going from flower to flower. You can see the edge of one of the tributaries where there's clearly a swarm of small bugs. Like we're talking we're talking mosquitoes or sand flies, something along that nature. But You don't see anything large. There are no large creatures here. There are no smaller. Heinrich may have told you about. Watch out for the Sacoons, which are further up north. There's no sign of any small mammals or anything.
Okay. I'm being careful still, because this place seems very alien to what I grew accustomed to, even though haven't spent all that long on this planet. But it just feels too weird. This place shouldn't be like this. Can I ask G7 if he knows it, why it's like this?
G7
I
simply.
don't know if he's going to answer.
He will answer your questions. He seems to stay very closely to the trailer that you're towing, and he spends a lot of his time in camp is just going over the equipment that's there and making sure it's not damaged. But when you ask him, he looks at you he gives you a dirty look. From what you can tell from his blinking lights, maybe they go red. Who knows? He does reply, "This area is hostile. We have not explored or investigated this region. Only preliminary scans have been done. The area should most probably contain a crude promethium deposit. But as for hands-on investigations, we have done none. This is why the task was given to you."
Understandable.
How do you think it's understood to where the suspected from Egypt will be?
Crude promethium deposits should be located within the swamp further south. We will pass through, and he provides you, Cray, with essentially he connects with your mind directly. You share mechadendrites or data probes or this, that, or the other, and he gives you a coordinate which you would see is relative to the one that's on the map. There's an area in which the Mechanicus imagine there should be crude promethium deposits because of geological reasons. And their scans indicate that there's gases in the air around this area that should possibly, maybe, indicate crude promethium deposits. Cray, you would be able, because I believe you have got a map, or you're currently drawing out a map. You can add on, the bits that you've learnt, and basically show Heinrich and Cooney a crude map. Your crude map, which you've added on this little bit, going, okay, well, this is roughly where we got to search.
Actually, is the data pad that we were given capable of holding the map?
No. This is something that Cray is drawing out, because he has a implant that allows it. Basically, his implant is mapping software. But Cray doesn't actually have the skills in order to draw maps.
Yeah, gotcha. I was just thinking if there was any way for him to plug into the data pad and just, print screen.
For a common data slate, no, it's not possible. For a more advanced, good quality, best quality Archaeotech data slates, there is a possibility that he could do it. He would just have to do it in his mind and then transfer the data over. So it would take time.
Gotcha.
And he'd need the trade skill in order to draw maps, in order to produce the correct. He technically could do it at the Titan hangar. If you guys spent a day there, he could probably download his memory engrams of his mapping software and then have an artisan render it onto a mapping software and then give you guys a actual map of where Cray has been. But it's not of the entire planet.
Actually,
it's only where he's been.
Yeah.
Actually, now that I'm thinking about this, do the tech trees have a map?
G7 doesn't. He has a general location data like what Cray has.
Yeah, I think majority of them probably have that kind of generalized location stuff, but
Yeah, like that.
I bet that fucking Remelez guy has a fucking actual map. He's just not telling anyone because he's batshit insane.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably just praying all the time to the weird glowy shit, so maybe not. Maybe he doesn't have time.
I don't have time to record my map. I must expose myself to an unshielded plasma reactor.
No,
Yeah.
highly shielded. Highly shielded. It's
Moderately shielded.
It's not Imperial technology, technically. It's Archaeotech.
Yeah, sure.
Was at a
The
time when
cancerous growth
humans
that is
cared about
growing
other humans.
fast. The cancerous growth that is coming out of my eye socket is just,
Can I like spend half an hour to an hour to look around the area to see if there is any sign of like wildlife with my survival skill? Like,
Sure, you can roll survival to walk. Essentially, you're doing like 20 minutes ish, walking round the perimeter of the vehicle. Keeping it in line of sight, but looking around for any tracks or any dung, things like that. You can.
yeah,
By all
like any real like signs of anything nearby? Because this is a little bit suspicious that there's nothing.
I don't believe Cooney has survival, but if I can, could I help him with just awareness? Just to give him the bonus?
Do I know of any beasts that live here?
You do not have survival,
Almost.
Cooney. Yeah, you. Oh no,
If I
sorry,
can hate him,
Cooney.
like-
You do have survival. You have actually 2 ticks in it.
Oh shit! The fuck you doing? Oh wait, no, hang on. 2 ticks just means you're trained.
It's a 53%
That
chance
takes me-
of passing.
I think I
How
might
much?
help Cooney then because I have
53.
47.
You got a
63?
53% chance of passing, but Heinrich can assist.
I will
Um,
assist to get that plus
And
10 in there.
Cray, as for you, you know of that you have a bestiarium, essentially of the creatures that were created on world, but you don't know where they were released or where they might migrate to. So technically, there should be herd beasts here. Technically, there should be razor wings here and Sacoons, and you don't actually know why they're not. With a plus 10 from Heinrich, Cooney does pass with a 52. So with 1.1 degrees of success, 2 degrees of success in total. As you walk around the perimeter and working your way out, looking for tracks, for poo, for things that have been eaten, for this, that, and the other, you just don't find any. And Cooney is fairly certain she can find her way back, so you press your luck a bit and you go a bit further out, just losing eye contact with the caravan and going to the river's edge. At the river's edge, again, you can see insects buzzing around, and you can see small insects on the water and water skippers, a type of bug, we have in the UK. Yeah, I think they're water skippers. Anyway, there are lots of small bug-like creatures around where you'd expect them to be, but you'd also expect for the birds to be eating them, and you just don't see them. And I'll tell you what, Heinrich, give me an awareness check. As Cooney is looking for tracks, you can give me an additional...
Flat awareness or?
Yeah, flat awareness, just to see how you assist
I'm not
in this.
born,
So,
go away.
with
I'm
an
re-rolling
88, okay, a better fail.
Still a fail.
With a 52, what Cooney rolled for survival.
Also,
You're able to as Cooney's looking at pointing out, where there's this, that, the other. Okay, so Cray's also following along. You've left G7 and the Fetits alone together. I'm sure he loves that. No, it's fine. It's not a problem.
Looking around from where I was. Wouldn't be actually moving.
He's not a big racist.
Okay. All right then. Well, so you would lose eye contact with Cooney and Heinrich, Cray, but other than that, you don't really see anything. So at the water's edge, Cooney's pointing out these survival-esque things, the bugs. She looks into the water, and you can see that there are small fish about, very small, but again, that means there should be more predators. And Heinrich's looking around, and he doesn't point out much, but when Cooney shows that, look, you can see over there that these trees have fruits on them. Well, if they have fruits, there should be something eating them. So you decide to push on a little further, as this section of the river is very, very narrow and shallow. And you can just make out an area where it's even shallower. As you step in, Cooney, your shin is not fully covered by the water. So it's quite easy for you to cross this ford in the river. And you just, like, on the map, for anyone who is looking at it, I know you can't, Jim, but Heinrich might. You've moved one square over. You've just moved one square over. And you're on the tree line now, and Cooney's showing that there are, and Heinrich, you recognize at least one of these types of fruit. It's a ploin tree. The ploins are super ripe to the point where they're falling off the tree. And as Cooney's pointing out, well, there's another tree over there that has like nuts or something, and there's this over there. And Heinrich, you look over at, well, the ploins are just on the floor. Anything could eat them. You walk over and something white is in the vegetation. You look round the bush, getting far too close, as you see a bleached, clean bone. It is quite noticeable that this is of a herd beast.
Oh.
But the cause of death is unknown. The skeleton...
It's bleached, so it's got to be exposed to the elements for some time, right?
Yes. Yes, it is clearly old.
Yeah, if it's sun bleached.
It's clearly old and sun bleached. It is clean completely, but as you begin moving some of the branches, and it's a full skeleton. There's debris. There's debris built up around it. Its ribs have almost filled with like leaf detritus and rotting fruits, and the stuff has built up around it. But it looks as if this creature just died. just died, and then the forest just grew in around it.
All right. So that'd be some time ago. There's no visible damage to the bones, or is there like indications of like where teeth have punched through to the bone itself, like or a weapon of sorts?
So,
even like a
how long would you
shotgun
like
pellet.
to spend on this? 'Cause to
I'll
check all the bones for like teeth marks is going to take at least half an hour, to just check for major damage to the bones, like broken legs, broken arms, a cracked spine, will take like 10 minutes. A hole in the skull,
Yeah, I'd probably spend about 10 minutes to do like a proper quick visualization, like for anything major that would stand out. Because if it's a full skeleton, like you would kind of, especially if it's sun bleach or whatever else, you would kind of notice like major scratches and stuff in the bone itself, or
So
like
I
you said, like a hole or
should
whatever.
add it's sun bleached, but as you move further down, it is going green.
Yeah,
it
it's,
is,
it's being like reclaimed by
yeah,
the
but
forest.
as you look, skull intact, no damage. Front legs, no damage. Back legs, no damage. Spine in completely intact. Rib cage, completely intact. So with your 10 minutes, there is no major damage to any vital areas.
Okay. I will inform Cooney if I haven't done so already, and I'll like continue to look around. Like, as if like something. I mean, it could have died of natural causes, but you said it's like stuck in a little bit of a brush, so
It looks like the forest has grown around it because it's on the very
Yeah,
edge. It seems as if the plants have grown in and covered it. So now it's not in direct sunlight, but it clearly was at one point. The forest has definitely come in and grown around it after it's decayed.
do I have comms with
Aldi?
well, yeah. Do we actually have comms together, Cray?
Between
Well,
all
we
of you,
should.
you do. Yeah, between all of you, you do, as long as you remain within 1 kilometer. So as long as you're
Oh,
within
yeah.
1 square, essentially, maybe 2 squares. It's a bit
We do
crackly.
have to collect the cloths between me and Dean. Friedrich.
Yeah.
No, not Friedrich. Heinrich.
Yeah, you guys have the long range walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
The galactic walkie-talkie.
You have common microbeads, so it's good for 1 kilometer. If you get a vox caster,
the survival kit. That's right.
if you have used a vox caster, you get 5 kilometers for your microbeads, and you do have a vox caster, so technically it's 1 square, 2 squares max with just your microbeads. But as long as someone is on the vox caster, then you get 5 squares, 6, 7 squares, and it starts getting crackly.
So I will calm back to Cray, ask him if he can check his little bestiary for anything that would kill anything without damaging the skeleton. But let him know that we found some bones of something that's long dead.
That doesn't really narrow it down a lot.
The venomous terror, Cray, is the first thing that your cybernetics. Ding! Yeah, if it bites you, you could get poisoned, and then poison might kill you.
I think those things we had in. I forgot the name. Can you help me?
At the Archaeotech facility, the worm things.
Yes.
I believe they're venomous terrors. It might be a different way. It might be a different one, to be honest with you. venomous terror. No, sorry, they're wandering. Are they wandering parasites or venomous terrors? Oh no, sorry, they're wandering. So yeah, the venomous terrors are the worm creature things. Yeah, that were at the Archaeotech base. But the wandering parasites, I believe, would also come up as a oh no, never mind. They're not actually poisonous. Never mind. The wandering parasite would not be a candidate. I forgot about this creature. Does it have? No, that doesn't either. So yeah, it is possible a venomous terror could have attacked it and just poisoned it, and then it's managed to get away and died in the foliage. Quite possible.
And are they in the right place for that, or is it a bit?
Yeah, in this area there are definitely north of you before you came into this more forested area. There were definitely signs of herd beasts, venomous terrors, razor wings, like all the normal fauna. You could see signs of it, basically piles of their shit, which is the most common way of spotting if animals are in the area. If you don't see the animal itself, is signs of it feeding or shitting.
It is weird that it is weird that there's little or no sign of anything, even sounds. So, right. I'm gonna draw my long saber. I'm gonna poke the skull to see if anything happens, and then I'm gonna like start to return back to the encampment, and we'll try and plan our rest for the night.
Yeah, nothing happens as you jab the skull. You would notice some creepy crawlies, some insects come scuttling out from much like the jawline where it's covered in plant matter, mulch, rotten ploins. You know, some bugs do come creeping out. But apart from that, no, there's nothing else.
Okay. Like there's no like bright green, obviously poisonous creatures.
No. Don't get me wrong, there would be some nasty looking insects there. Some spiders, some, just general creepy crawlies that come out, but nothing that's like a luminous green or like that, where even nature is like, don't touch this, you fuckwit, it will kill you. Nothing like that.
Fair enough. No frog. Okay. Right. Yeah, I'll bring it up with Cooney, see if she has anything to input, and then I'm gonna start making our way back and think if there's something venomous, we may have to sleep in the wagon.
I do believe I have a Medicaid. I could do a Medicaid check to see if to think of anything, but other than that, we should just take care. And yeah, sleep in the wagon, not outside.
Okay.
Like you could do a Medicaid check, Cooney, if you wanted, but you wouldn't find out much more than Heinrich, given the fact it is just a skeleton, and he's already looked at the bones. You could look at the bones as well. He didn't see anything on a preliminary, quick check. You would need to spend like half an hour going over all the bones, looking for any. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you guys head back. Again, it's only like a 20-ish minute that you've been away, maybe 40 minutes at most. By this point, Cray, a small fire has been started. Rations have been prepared, cooked, and made ready. G7 has checked over the equipment, and he's now checking over the servitors to make sure they're all functioning fine. yeah, not much has happened as Cooney and Heinrich return. You're given your rations.
Be right back.
You can
I
discuss.
am so.
Yeah.
No, sorry. Yeah,
Okay, no
can
worries.
you mute me for a little bit?
Yeah. Not a problem. There we go. He hath been muted. So yeah, you guys sit around. You're able to eat your rations, which I imagine is a hank of meat at this point, as you did bring some extras with you. So someone remove 1 hank of meat from your group's inventory. And maybe you organize a watch roster, so someone's always awake. Or 2 people to give yourselves like hot bunking in the vehicle to give yourselves a bit more room, a bit more comfortability as you sleep. But the night passes, and although it's eerily quiet at times, except from the insects chirping away, the sun rises, the fire is rekindled, the morning breakfast is underway, and nothing has attacked. Nothing seems out of the ordinary, except from this odd lack of animal calls and chirping and eating and fucking and mating. All the normal sounds just don't seem to be there. But again, you weren't attacked, so you can push on. There it is, movement speed. So the servo car is 64 miles. So you get in your vehicle because nothing happened, and you take off. Now you cross the more barren wasteland area in between these 2 large forested areas. You then have to pick up the pace. Sorry, not pick up the pace. Sorry, you have to slow down a bit, be a bit more careful as you're entering the forest. It is dense, but it doesn't seem to be dense with trees. There are a lot of trees, but as you find, you look at the forest and it's like, okay, that area looks like it's got less densely populated in trees. The bushes are not difficult for your servo car to drive through. In fact, it seems to make quite easy work of making it to the first point. It has been slower going, but not to the point where you're running behind schedule or anything. You're on time. It's just been a case of picking your route through the trees, finding areas where, okay, look, there's less trees over this way, there's more bushes, more shrubbery. Let's pick our way through. And whilst in the vehicle, you make decent progress. And then G7 and Cray would inform both the other 2 that the area for possibility of crude promethium has been reached. This is where it gets a little bit more difficult, as G7 informs you that he has no idea where the crude promethium is, and you'll just have to get out and look.
One question. Did we get prospective gear?
No.
There is
Not
equipment. There is equipment for the extraction of the crude promethium, but you don't have any auger systems that would scan for it. You don't have any sensory equipment.
So we don't have any prospecting equipment.
Yeah.
No proper prospecting equipment,
Yeah.
no. We have branches that we can make into Y shapes and do that old thing.
So Cray,
wishbone.
you would know, or at the very least, the Adeptus Mechanicus would inform you. Probably all of you, it'd be in your data slate. I imagine they would add something of the line. So what you're looking for is not going to be underground. It's going to be a surface oil slick. It's basically going to be an open oil, like what you see in the swamps in America with the natural gas bubbling up. Only this is going to be an oily, tarry substance that bubbles up from underground. It shouldn't be the case that you're looking for something that's buried underground. There should be clear, visible signs on the surface. If it's not in a waterway, then it'll be in a solid area, and there'll be no growth around it. There'll be a particular smell in the air, Cray, which you personally would recognize, because it's a smell that all tech priests would recognize of crude promethium in general. It has a tang to it. Exactly the same if you smelt gas. You one sniff and you're like, there's gas. Someone's left the cooker on, or someone's punched a hole in a gas pipe. You know it instantly. It's just, this is particularly thick foliage that you are currently going through. So, I'm going to need some survival roll.
Can I make an argument for awareness? And I would also propose to the group that we make a grid out of the swamp and just go follow the grid. We go down, we go up, we go down, we go up.
Awareness will be the second role that I will need of you all, but survival is the first one.
Okay.
So everyone will need to do a survival.
Would the search work? Actually, my survival's better than my search. Never mind.
No, for this it would be particularly survival to start with. However, when it comes to the awareness check, search would be the next option.
Okay, so survival check.
So Cooney rolled
Any
terribly.
bonuses?
No, just flat. Cooney rolled terribly, so she's going to use. Hang on. Do you even have a fortune point? You do. You do. You're going to use it because you're the only one.
Minus 3.1 degrees.
Who got minus? Yeah, no. I know Cooney got a really bad roll. She's just going to use her fortune point. Also, I'm going to unmute Jim because I don't know if he's there going, no, don't.
Oh, yeah, no, Jim's unmuted on our end. He's just muted for yourself.
Yeah, but I can't tell if he's screaming out, going, no. Are you okay with rolling your only fortune point, Jim?
I should just be muted for you, right?
Yeah.
So, honestly, fuck it. Just do it.
Yeah? Okay.
I don't think I would, but fuck it, just do it.
Okay. He's going to use his only fortune point. He uses it. And succeeds. So, your group total is 2.
Yes.
2 degrees of success.
2.
You do actually have some NPCs that can help you. So, Muttermouth.
Yeah, Muttermouth, get over here.
Didn't roll.
Please mute me again, because
sure.
I thankfully just reached the gas station and I have 0% autonomy.
Okay, no worries, dude. I will mute you. Just shout to the others when you want to be unmuted.
He's going to start screaming racial slurs at the gas station attendant.
He's muted, so he can't defend himself right now. So that's the head cannon that's going.
He's currently doing it. I can hear him.
Muttermouth gets I believe gets
See?
plus 20 to his survival rolls for a talent and for being of.
He called you guys British. Oh, Dave.
Yeah. So Muttermouth does add another 4 degrees to your search roll. Okay. So
sweet.
With your 6 degrees of success in the first area, you begin looking round. There's a few telltale signs that Muttermouth has picked up on, and then Cooney and Heinrich verify in other areas. So you're in a swampy area. The terrain has got more difficult to walk. There's a lot of very small tributaries of the river. You can just about see a slick on the surface of the water in a couple of areas. Can I now get an awareness check off everyone that you can use search if search is better for you?
I would like to use search.
For Cooney's awareness is better.
I got a 1!
Ooh. Okay, that was bloody fucking
Fucking
lucky.
hell.
Hey, good.
That's what, plus 2 degrees of success? So...
Yeah.
7? No, 6.
So, Crate, when you can, give us
Yes, hello.
a awareness or search. So as you come into essentially the first square, because the circle probably has like 4 whole squares in it. You've come into the first square. Now you found oil slicks, very small ones on the surface of some of these smaller rivers, tributaries, so on and so forth. As you begin searching and looking for other telltale signs, following up the river, following the oil slicks, Heinrich, you don't find the oil slick. You don't find what you're looking for. What you do find is an incredibly beautiful flower. It's about 200 meters away from you. It is ginormous. Absolutely fucking ginormous. You're surprised that it didn't catch your eye before because it's this huge, vibrantly looking plant, but it's not actually the plant that you notice, that you find in your search, Heinrich. No. Oh, no. It's the possible tens, if not 30 or 40 sets of bones littering the area. You almost didn't see them. You almost didn't notice as lichen, as moss, and other plants have begun to grow all over the white bones. And as you... Wait, there's 1,
Jim did not
there's
like
2,
that.
there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... Wait. But they come back further. You are 200 meters away from this huge plant. And yet as you look further down, the softness of the ground hid the fact that you are currently walking on bones. They're just not snapping. You just don't feel them because as you put weight on them, the ground itself swallows them up. This is a swampy, quaggy area. It is difficult to walk. The ground is soft. But what the hell killed all the... But you know, stopping as the others are still searching around you, the larger congregation of bones is around this enormous flowering plant.
That I do have a formal. I do have like a trained usage of survival. Would I know from that? Like it's very basic, but would I know like there are, toxic plants and flora and fauna, not just fauna, but flora as well, can be deadly. I probably would have heard of like death worlds and stuff like that. So
give me a rogue trader lore roll. you'll get a +20, Heinrich, to see. Okay, you know of a very particular death world where a very well-known and renowned regiment has come from.
I know of Katachan. Everyone knows of
Yes.
Katachan, but you also know of
And
other death
you
worlds
know
nearby.
of the flora and fauna that come from said world. There are plants on Katachan that eat humans and other anything that comes into reach of it.
Okay.
You're quite easily
Yes, that as well, Jim.
to put it together that flower should be best avoided at all costs.
Yes, I'm beginning to think that. I'm going to like. I'm not going to shout or yell or attract any additional attention to myself, but I will like get on the comms unit and speak to, all our friends nearby. Okay. Keep an eye out there. One of these flowers looks particularly deadly. Watch your step. You may be stepping on bones. Something's very toxic around here.
I will also add the temperature inside this swampy, forested area has become very much unbearable. The humidity,
Yeah, it's much hotter.
The rankness, the sweatiness, the air feels hot and close and difficult to breathe. Cooney, I'm going to unmute you. Are you wearing your armor environmentally sealed? And if you are you draining your battery by having your aircon unit functioning?
I wouldn't be using unless I needed to. But if this place is as unbearable as you're saying it is, I would be using. I don't know if it drains the battery. I'm not currently at my computer to check the stuff, but
it will drain, like, just to have the aircon. So it's not like blowing out cold air or anything. It's when you've got your helmet on and you're environmentally sealed, every breath that you breathe out is putting condensation on all of the internals. There's drips falling on your face. It's disgustingly humid in your suit because your breath is making it so. It's clammy. It's nasty. It smells really bad as well. You can take your helmet
filtration
off.
Plugs in.
You can take your helmet off by all means and get fresh air, and it's not so bad. But you will not be able to have your helmet on for prolonged periods of time without turning your aircon unit on. That sucking out of the water in the air from your breath, that cooling it down ever so slightly, it's vital in these kind of conditions, because it's just, if you were wearing full plate armor, like feudal world armor, I tell you couldn't wear it in this kind of condition. It's just too rank. If you want to turn your battery on, if you have it on all day, it is going to drain your battery for your armor more than it already has. It won't empty it. It's just a drain on your resources.
I don't know how many batteries I have, how much time I have left. So I'll remove my helmet for now, but I'll keep it ready that I can put my helmet back on and just turn on the thing if I have to. If something dangerous.
So if you go into combat, you can easily put your helmet on, lock it into place. It's not difficult. But yeah, you're. Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, now that I think about it, did we see any type of life around this place?
No, none at all.
Even
everything we found is dead except for insects.
And the killer plant.
Yeah. We've literally just stumbled across a bone graveyard.
You know what? You know what? I am paranoid enough, and I won't take my helmet off. I will turn on the suit for now at least.
Okay.
I think at this point I'm taking some
I
of the
know-
ragged clothes I have.
I know
and
it'll
I'm
be
making
draining the battery, but
face
if there's
mask.
is there a engine in the air?
Sorry, can you say that again? Oh, we may have lost him. Can you say
Jim?
that again, Jim?
No.
I imagine we lost him. So he's still here.
Oh.
No, hang on, he's back. Can you say that again, Jim?
Nope, he's gone. He's actually in the store right now.
No worries. Okay. So, Cooney, you can put your helmet on. You'll be you'll be protected from
here-
the humidity. But I have
Mute Jim.
I have
Mute Jim.
I have muted him. Yeah. As soon as I heard Portuguese, I pork and cheese. I was like, yeah. No,
Oh, he's left.
oh well. So Cooney's wearing her helmet. So yeah, you have been pointed out to this very large, very vibrant coloured flower, and the corpses around it. Again, yeah, you're like 200 meters. You're a long way away from it, but again, it's
See, I'm
coloured
actually
and-
looking through a lot of my gear stuff at the moment. I'm realizing now, like I could fashion myself some protective equipment. So, like, I can stick a pair of I have a pair of goggles I can put on. I can make it an impromptu mask with some of the ragged clothes, and I have filtration plugs, which I can shove up my nose.
Sure. By all means, if you want to.
I will also desperately ask the tech priests if they have any type of scanning equipment.
And
in
neither of them has an internal auger array. However, if you point out to G7 the bones and the flower, he will mention that that's fascinating.
I will be pointing that out. I mean,
very
how far
fascinating.
away do the bones like are they like? Is the basically the entire marsh bones, or is it like that 200 meters away from the flower? Does the bone start?
So
Like, are we getting a rough estimate of the radius of these things?
The largest. So the closer you are to the flower, the more dense the bones are, and also the larger the bones are as well. Whereas radiating out from the plant, the bones do get a lot more sparse. I'll give it to you that with enough time and looking, and okay, and you also got that natural one. You can see, Heinrich, where it seems as if one of those plants was originally very close to you, because there's a big density of bones. But you don't see any of the plants. Like, you don't see the big flower anywhere near you.
What the fuck?
You'd imagine that the flowers do die off. They do die off. They do spread their seeds and regrow in other areas. As you look around, you can see, okay, there's only one big flower like directly in front of me. If you look all the way around, you spend a couple of minutes, you're like, okay, there's another flower over there. That's like on the other, to the left of me, 300 meters away, give or take, maybe 200 again. They seem to be very far spread apart. They don't seem to be multiple flowers growing next to each other.
Okay. So even the flowers maintain social distancing. Okay.
It seems as if they have some form of the couth, because yes, they do stay quite a distance apart.
Okay. I will I'll ensure that the information is spread to the group. Like, make sure, like, watch the distance between these flowers and try to maintain as far away as possible between them. The intensity of the amount of bones beneath your feet may indicate like how close you are to the flower. If you have filtration plugs or anything like that, please like equip them or put them in or whatever. We don't want us dropping on it now.
Sure. So, can I get another survival roll off of everyone? I will do Coonies.
Yep.
2.2 from Cooney. 1.2 from Heinrich. 1 from Buttermouth. Fails this time. He will.
With the plus 20. Fuck no.
He will use a fortune point to keep the group. Ooh, there we go. -1 from there. And then Cray, if you could do a survival roll as well, and then it is an awareness or a search roll from everyone.
There's my search.
So Muttermouth did well on that.
All right. Fucking 11.
Search is better. Sorry, awareness is better for Cooney. Ooh, okay. So, as you do your survival roll, this time there were a couple of negatives to take into account, because you're keeping away from the larger flowers. So, you move further through this square, and again, you are following the oil slick that you've already found. So you see that it's coming down this river. Well, you just need to follow that river. However, there are some large flowers along that river's edge. So you basically have to cut wide away from the big flowers, and you come in closer to the river again, and then you begin searching for the oil slick. And before long, you find... We'll go with Heinrich, because Heinrich did the best job, not of the NPCs. So Muttermouth kind of points you in the right direction, Heinrich, and then as you move further up, you see something glisten in the water. It's almost metallic. And as you bend down and place a hand in the water, the metallic slickness goes through your fingers, and as you raise them up out of the water, there's that smell. You would know it as well, Heinrich, because on every rogue trader, invocation, god damn it, where do planes leave from? The invocation deck, invocation deck, the flight deck, the cargo hangar, any area with machinery.
Flight deck, yeah.
Invocation.
Hang on, so who the fuck just rang me?
There is a correct word. I just can't remember how it's pronounced at the moment. But yeah, it's crude promethium. A slick has run through your fingers, telling you that you are oh so close. You've actually done better than I thought on your rolls. As we move over to a map. A map. If you move all the way up north to the top of the screen,
yeah, there you go.
What you'll find is there is a river, or two rivers, and there's two pieces of green land. You can place yourselves wherever you would like on any section. The water costs 3 times movement to move through it.
Okay.
So you can run as long as you start running before you enter the water. The same as the charge rules. You need 4 meters of your run out of water to run through it. But it will cost you 3 times your movement for each square. So obviously over here, it's a lot narrower. Well, that's 6 meters movement if it's 3 squares. No, sorry, that's more than that. It's 3 times. So it's 1, 2.
Yeah, for every
3,
meter is
4.
3 meters. So
Yeah.
3
So it's
meters,
9,
9 meters.
Sorry, it's 9
that kind of
meters.
thing.
Yeah. For you to move through. So this is going to.
There you go. So to get to the other side of the river would be 36 meters.
Yes. So you do want to cross in areas where it's obviously narrow. makes the better.
Yeah, that is actually a bit of a cheap way to do it. So if you, rather than having to do the math, just measure out, go back, and then go back out again. That is 3 times the distance. So it should tell you how much.
Yeah. So I'm going to have to just copy some character sheets, some tokens over. So the vehicle is here. It's just you guys have had to get out of the vehicle, and G7. Sorry, I don't need G7. G7 is piloting it. So he's currently off the map at the moment to keep the equipment safe. So Cray, if you want to place yourself down somewhere, and Cooney, do you want position 1, 2, or 3? It's just 3 different land masses.
I think, yeah. No, Jim is currently not in the chat. He says he'll be back in 5.
Okay, fine. We're putting him in the middle with Heinrich.
Put him in the water.
Do you think fish is like me? Oh, god damn it. Help me a second here. Fish? I mean, do you think plants like to runners plants like fish?
Maybe the carnivorous plants are eating the fish. You never know. You'll have to wait until you see one.
It was a bad joke about the toe. Don't mind it.
Do the towel eat the fishies? We'll find out.
No, do the plants eat the fishies? We already know that those are cannibals. I mean, so are humans, which don't talk about Simon King.
Hey, the Japanese were eating American livers in World War II. You know, it wasn't that long ago.
I mean, in terms of the Battle of Saigon, not Saigon.
As well, the Japanese weeps.
No, Chinese city where they ate like 20k people.
That doesn't narrow it down, Albie. It's China.
I believe when the Japanese invaded China, yeah, so like that happened.
No, like 700 after Christ, something like that. Civil War stuff.
Yeah.
Again, doesn't narrow it down. It's China.
So I am in a
siege of Suihan.
I'm in a bit of a quandary here. Technically, we could carry on for another half an hour.
Yeah.
No, probably about 9:30. The only issue is, once we get into combat proper, we'll probably have to stop because, I mean, once you find the crude Promethean proper, we'll probably have to stop. Yeah, we will have to stop once Jim returns. I don't really want to kill his character off. Yeah, although I did take Albie's character into combat, so you know. Although he was here in the yeah, but he didn't see. Making arguments against not charging Jim into melee combat with the evilness. Where is there it is? Just Mechanicus. Through the skull. There he is. Ah. On right up to can you? Oh, I've got the reveal thing clicked. Don't go on Heinrich's face. He probably doesn't like you being on his face.
I don't like him that much. If he wants to like sit on my head and give me a head massage, that would be good. But...
So are we going to lock in these positions? Everyone's going on the.
I was
the
by
middle.
the water by the time you. Yeah. You did say I was
Okay.
by the water when we haven't, so
Yeah, no, I mean this is your last chance to change the positioning of your tokens if you're
then I
happy
will
with where
be
they are.
a contrarian. I will go here.
Sure. You wish to.
And now
wish
I'm
to
just
go
doing it
there?
out of spite.
No, by all means, you can pretty much go wherever you'd like. I would probably say that Thomas kind of likes Cray because Cray's got technology and is a kind of mechanic like him. Cooney, kind of a warrior who's just. You could say Cooney hangs around with Heinrich more, but Cooney's hardly ever been here, so it's kind of difficult to. We'll give Heinrich Muttermouth, and we'll keep Cooney here with Cray and Thomas. There we go. We've got a group of 2 and a group of 3. So that is where you are locked in now. You cannot change your movement positions. Actually, I tell you what we can do. We can reveal a bit more of the area. Because now you're locked in. You can have a bit more area revealed. And then we will do we'll do initiatives. You probably see a bit further.
Oh no.
There we go. Probably.
I don't like these flowers.
What flowers? You don't see any flowers.
I don't
No.
like these flowers.
Oh no.
Something tells me these flowers are not actually flowers, but they're actually the big fucking skeleton walking things. That's where all the meat went.
You, who knows? Who knows?
It just occurred to me, just as we were thinking about it, I was like, hang on, there's no meat on these things. Like at all.
I mean, yeah, you just have to push on to find out. Where the fuck's... Oh, there's the initiative. Okay.
One of those big fuck off scary looking things that we were terrified of when we first spotted ones, and we're still terrified of as we go.
Where could
where
they
the
have
fuck's
come from? With the it's under combat.
Hey, oh god. Did better than Cooney at least.
You did. Cooney did particularly poorly. But Thomas did particularly well.
Thomas did fucking Jesus Christ.
I don't know if that's yeah, that's definitely not common. What did he roll? Oh, he robbed a fucking 14. He got a 10. Fucking hell. Okay, Thomas really wants to see what's going on. For Servo Spider, it does technically act on Heinrich's turn, but I will roll its initiative anyway, because it can essentially it can go into Overwatch whilst on your shoulder, and if you move and it gets into range, it can fire. So it's like, yeah, might as well have it.
I don't like this.
Have its turn. Have its Overwatch. So that is Cray. Can we get a we get initiative roll under your combat tab?
It has been a while, Cray.
You can. Also, you should be able to understand me better now.
It's much better, but fucking hell, you were quiet. That was like buttery smooth.
I managed to work around the thingy by opening the browser. I forgot Discord had a browser functionality.
Oh yeah. Alright, hang on. I'll be able to put you up like 200% here. Say something?
This.
Think you might need to adjust your own settings in the browser, so I'm going to turn you down slightly again. But yeah, you're coming through much clearer again.
Well, I'm now using the proper microphone instead of the garbage they put in the phones.
Okay.
Right, so where is initiative again?
Go on the combat tab and then scroll down, and it will be at the bottom of your movement. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay then. Right, let's get these sending. And then, yeah, no, that works out. Okay. So,
I thought Peeper just went on my turn.
he does, but to save, so I've got a token so that I could be like, okay, it's his turn. Did he do anything? If I forget, he's just going to go into Overwatch on your shoulder. So if you move and come into range of an enemy, he'll fire at the enemy. Unless you're like, in stealth, then he'll realize, okay, don't shoot. Master is in stealth. He's sneaking. He is crouched down to the correct angles to denote sneaking. There's a little eye.
Master has entered Skyrim stealth.
Yeah. There we go.
I prefer Steiner stealth. If there is no one left to see you, they haven't seen you.
I like stealth systems. I do like going in stealth in Skyrim, but most they do just like when you're clearly crouching down in front of an individual, and they're like, "Oh, where did he go? Must have been the wind." It is kind of like back off.
You put like 3 arrows in a guy's head. Must have been the wind.
Yeah, it's
also Skyrim stealth would be terrible for your shins.
It'd be great for your ass. You'd have the
great for your ass, like the fucking squats you're doing, but it's also going to be terrible for your shins.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make an executive call. Because we could go till about past. Is that about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can do a bit longer, but
I can do a bit longer. I'm off tomorrow, so.
I guess it depends on the Brazilian.
Yeah, I'm just worried about getting into a combat that I've rated kind of hard.
Give me 2 seconds to update Discord real quick.
I'm like,
Oh.
No,
it was an Irishman.
Let me have another look at the characters that I've got here, because they're not easy to kill. They're a bit scary. I don't really want to lead Jim into Bunk's position. I mean, that one's kind of terrifying. What talents does it have? It has, okay, the talents for that one aren't so bad. Now, let me just double check. The large flora. Oh, it's not going to show me. Hang on. Let me just have a look. The large flora. Which one? No, definitely don't have the large flora on this map. That was 100%. We don't. What the fuck? I just had a duck.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's the fucking soundboard. Discord has a built-in soundboard now.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
How do you trigger it?
Make sure Discord's updated, and there's like a new tab down by the activities tab.
Oh, what?
Right.
I thought I was on nitrous. I was.
I think Eris is listening in on us.
Oh.
Hi, Eris.
Hey,
Hello.
Eris. Quack, quack. Marvelous.
Quack. That's brilliant. I'm favoriting the quack. Also, me updating Discord has made Albie much more clear and louder. Unless you were adjusting your audio settings.
Well, I am looking into adjusting the audio settings, so be warned for your eardrums.
Please don't Albios Albie. I still call it that to this day. I confuse the hell out of everyone else I meet, but oh, Titanfall 2 is on sale for $5. And, oh yeah, that's right. The fucking online actually works as a VM.
Hello.
Jesus Christ, Albie.
Luckily, mine was already set kind of low. I was like, yeah, I'll keep Albie here. This is right.
Holy shit. I can hear your background feedback.
I'm sorry. Should I lower it?
I can hear the voices in your head.
Oh, you don't want those. We'll get kicked off YouTube instantly.
There you go, that's a little better. I'll be back down to 100% now at least, which is good. Jesus Christ, that scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, I am. So what we're going to do for the moment is we're going to end the episode because we don't actually have a Jim back in chat at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to kill him.
Eris, get in here and take over for a minute.
Oh, Eris, you can take over a tower if you want.
Yes, substitute.
We have a Brazilian towel if you want to. Don't ask me how we made a towel Brazilian. It just happened.
I mean... Yeah, no.
We shall end the episode off there, and then when our Jimothy returns, we shall enter into a new combat stage where
he stops buying horse carcasses and stuff.
Yeah, he was late because he bought some horse and cow carcasses for his girlfriend because he's a good boyfriend like that. He gets her the finest of carcasses.
Yes, we will not explain any further.
Yeah, no, just that's as far as it goes. So yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. Looking forward to future episodes to come, where our group will be doing battle with whatever it is here. I will add, however, this area does have a dual. You don't have to do combat. You can avoid it if you wish. But if you don't notice it, you won't have a chance. You'll have to enter combat. And I don't want to fail Jim's roll when he's got no fate points left. A critical to the face. Oh no.
You don't want to stumble when he has no agency. Let him fail. It's not your job for him to fail. That's his job.
Yeah, and when he comes back next week, he'll have his fortune point back. He's only got one, so it's like, and I used that up on a survival roll earlier on. So, although I will, before we end the episode off, you could have triggered those flowers if you didn't get a natural one. Getty, there was a very high likelihood of you triggering the flowers, and the flowers are terrifying.
Nasty.
They are
very nasty.
They are proper. If you don't see them, it's like walking into a minefield, and it's like, oh no.
I could tell that by all the fucking bones.
Yeah, pretty much. I was like, how are these guys going to know that these things are dangerous? I was like, oh yeah, the bones.
Bones. Nothing but bones as far as the eye can see under the marsh. Ash.
So yeah, for now, we will end the episode off here. I certainly hope
guarantee you now,
enjoyed.
as soon as you hit end stream, James going to jump back in the chat.
Oh yeah, it's guaranteed. It's 100% guaranteed. But we'll carry
Doesn't
this
matter
episode...
how long we push it off, he will just, as soon as you hit end stream, it'll just pop into chat.
Oh yeah, and that's all I've done over the last 17 minutes is just just buying time. Just try to eke it out. Just try and add a bit more. Just try and stretch it out. But no, he hasn't turned up. So yeah, we will end it off here. I certainly hope everyone's enjoyed and are looking forward to the next episode, which is it possible for next week, or is it?
Hang on.
This is the start of the 2 weeks off.
I'm good.
I'm still good for next week.
Okay. So next week is good. It'll be the weeks after where there may be a hiatus, there may be a pause, and hopefully the other two characters will be good.
After next week, I'm on 2 weeks with work, so
yeah. So yes, thank you all so much for watching. I certainly hope you've enjoyed, and I'm looking forward to the future episodes. So take care, everyone, and as always, bye for now.
bye. I don't have Jim's soundboard. I can't do the see ya, so I'll do a quack.
We can't. Fitting.